Hi, this is Rick Van Dyke. Welcome to Over My Shoulder Game Review. Today I'll be looking at the new system from Dean Essing, Battalion Combat Series, and its first game, Last Blitzkrieg. I'll be walking through a simple activation to show how it works, and this is the core of a game in BCS, activating a formation. And a formation is typically a division. In this little fictitious battle I have here, I have the 83rd Infantry Division, the Thunderbolt Division, up against the German 2nd Panzer Division. So, I've activated the 2nd Panzer. They're on their activated side, the white stripe, the non-activated side, activated side. And then the first thing I'll do is roll the snafu. And I'm going to roll, it looks like I got a 10 here, so that's pretty good. That's actually very good. I need a 7 or better. Now, I do have some mods on the roll. I have a fatigue of 1, which would take it down 1. My trains, that's this unit here, it's in its good side. That's its ghost side, but it's on its good side, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back, which puts it in optimal distance. I need it between 5 and 15 hexes along a road between the headquarters and the trains. So that's a +1, so that nullifies the fatigue. So I've got a 10, which means I have a pass on the snafu table, which basically means I've got full activation. I've got full movement, full use of artillery, and a really cool thing is I have both objectives. I have 2 objectives. Now I could put out 2 of these objective markers in different places if I were going to be running some activations, or I'm sorry, some operations that were kind of widespread. But in this case, I'm going to do a thing we call double tap. We're going to put 2 of them on the same location. And just for fun, I have my own custom double tap marker that looks like this. And I'm going to put it right here. And the range of the objective marker is 2 hexes. So that actually keeps all of the units of interest that I might attack in this activation inside the objective zone. So good to go there. So now let's get down to it. Let's see if we can get in there. So my goal is to try and bump the headquarters out of this town and see if I can take that town. Alright, so I'm going to fire up this armored unit. I'm going to flip him over into his killer mode, I call it. And you notice that his AR, the action rating, stays the same, but his AV rating, that 4, was a 3 on this side, so he's a little bit more powerful on this side. I'm going to move up and I'm going to engage the support of the 1st of 330th here. And the support unit that they have is this guy right here, which is an anti-tank unit, and it has an AV rating of 3. Now the 3, you'll notice, looks like it's green. It's actually see-through, and that makes it defense only. You'll notice that the 2nd Panzer has a red support unit. That means it's defense and attack. So right now the GIs only have defense support. And that's okay because they're on the receiving end at this point. So here we go. So the AR is 4. His AV rating is 4. So he's attacking with 8. The AR for the American infantry is a 4. And the support unit is a 3, so that's a 7. So it's a +1, and this is on the engagement table, support involved. I rolled a 7, which becomes an 8, and that drops the support, exactly what I wanted to do. So that support has been dropped. Now, it's temporarily dropped because if this unit were to, if this formation were to reactivate, and there was still a safe path between the headquarters and that unit, they would get their support back. But it won't happen until they're activated. So for the rest of this time, he's going to have no support. Now, AV units have 2 actions, 2 fire actions that they can do. I could try and move somewhere else, but unfortunately I'm kind of boxed in here. These hexes are stop hexes. I really can't move into there. So okay, I'll just take another shot at the infantry. Roll single die, and this is on the barrage table. Rats. I needed a 4 or higher because he's in terrain. Rats, I got a 3, so no effect. Okay. Now he's done, but that's okay. He can still assist and attack. So I'm going to take the infantry unit that's back here, flip him over, and you'll notice that he now has 4 movement points, the white meaning leg, whereas black was truck. So I can now move 1, 2 into those woods, and the infantry will now do an attack into this hex. The tanks can't do an attack. They don't have the white arrow, the assault arrow, to do an attack. So let's walk through this attack sequence. Set this over here for now. I've got a 4 plus 1 for the tank, the assist. The double tap gives me a +1. And I've got support, so that's another +1. And I can throw in an artillery point for +2. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the infantry, they're 4, they're AR, they're in terrain, so they get +1 for that, and they're prepared defense, they get +1 for that. So 9 to 7, I'm sorry, 9 to 6 plus 3, and this is on the combat table. I roll an 8, plus 2 is 10. That's an A1 in brackets. Now the brackets mean that I would lose a step if the defender was in prep def, and they are, so unfortunately these guys take a hit. So that's on the attacker side. Now the defender, he's a D situational. That means if you're not in prep def, you have to run. You have to retreat 3 hexes. But if you are in prep def, you stand and fight, but you take a loss. So he's now down to 2 steps. So, all right, didn't bump him, didn't move him. Rats, it would have been easier because then I could drive up through there. Well, now I'm kind of boxed in again. So these guys can't move up through here. I don't really have enough movement points to move around this. So let's see if we can drive through this hex and make an attack that way. All right, so let's see. Now I've got a couple units left. I've only got part of each division out here just to make this simple. Let's see, Gutman, if I flip him over, he becomes a little bit more powerful. So let's do that. He's got enough movement. He can 1.5, and he can move up to here. Now he's a dual unit. That's kind of cool because that means he can both do AV attacks and he can assault. So let's see what he can do. I'm going to just run him up there by himself. I'm going to save the other 2 to maybe get into the city. Let's see if we can bump this guy first. This may or may not work, but first thing I do, again, engage the support. I'm a 4, 8. I'm actually a 9. I missed that back here, but I'm actually a 9 because of the double tap. So 4, 8, and 4, 7. So 9 to 7 plus 2. Results would have been the same, by the way, in the other combat. Oh, wow, that's not good. I rolled a 3 on the table. Plus 2 gives it's a no result. So, well, I'd really like to drop that support, so let me try it again. I get 2 shots. Well, that's a little better. I got a 7, 8, 9. Yep, dropped his support. So, can't take a shot at him, but at least I dropped his support. So, now, here's the real question. How lucky do I feel? So, I'm going to try and go in solo here and see if I can knock him down. So I'm a 4. I'll throw in an artillery point. Oh, and he's a dual, so he gets +1 for that. So 4 plus the dual, I'm a 5. 2 for the artillery point, 5, 6, 7. He's a 4, 5, 6. Only a +1, so I'm going to need something really good here. And ooh, might pull it off. I got a 10 plus 1 is 11. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I need. I got a D1 retreat results, just barely. So he takes a loss, but it's a hard retreat this time. It's not a situational. He must retreat. So he'll go back towards his headquarters, which is right there, and just keep going. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to retreat back to there, and he's still temp dropped. So Now Goodman is done, but at least I've gotten through that hex. I'm not sure that was a great idea, but let's see what we can do with this. Now, von Braun, well, he's got 8 movements. See, this is a prohibited hex. I can't move through there. Now this is not really there, so I could move up to here. That's a stop hex. And then I can move the infantry up and do an attack. It's over the river, through the woods, the whole business here. So this is going to be a little tough, but let's see what 2nd Panzer can do. Goodman is done, so he won't be able to participate in this attack. So let's see if I flip him over. Yeah, that's a little better. So I'd have to stop there and do a barrage. Well, I'm going to take a risk here. Stacking is something you usually try to avoid in this game because artillery affects every unit in the hex. So you don't roll just one for everybody there, but everybody can potentially get hit. So I'm going to take a little risk. So stacking up here. Now I'm a 5, 6, 7, 8. And there is a real unit in here. There's an engineer. So we'll just move this like this so we can kind of see what's going on. So he's a 3. Support is still there. It's a 3. It's 6. And I'm a 5, 6, 7, 8. So +2 on the support involved line. I got a 6, 7. That's enough to drop his support. So I've dropped the support also on the engineers. Now he could move again, or I could just take a shot from here. I'm probably going to use him for the attack, and I'll bring up the infantry, that last infantry unit there, to support the attack. Let me just move the headquarters over here a little bit. So if I move the, let's see, 1, 2, and let's see now, 1, 2, 1, 2. I have to have 3, shoot, it's I think 2 to get into that forest hex. I can't quite do it. Rats, I actually can't bring him up. Okay, well then von Braun is just going to have to do it all. We'll see if he can pull it off here. We were lucky last time. So I'll take one shot in at the engineer, and I got a 4, which is a hit. So I hit the engineer, so he takes a step loss. So he's down to 2 steps. Alright, and now von Braun is going to do the attack all on his own. He's a pretty good guy to do it with. He's a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we've got a 3, 4, 5 for crossing the stream, and 6 for prep def. So 5, 6, 7, 8 to 6. Okay, +2. Let's see what we get. I got a 7, 8, 9. That's not going to be good enough. I got an A1, so von Braun takes a hit. That's not great. Whoops. There we go. Von Braun takes a hit. If I can get him stacked up again. It's a D situational again, so wow, he's just barely surviving, but the engineers hold on with their fingernails, and they're still there. So we still got the support drop there. The objective would still be there. Technically, I would have a couple of barrage shots I could take here. Not really going to get into that stuff. I mean, just you roll on the barrage table and you get a hit or not. I'm just going to, kind of skip over that for now because we're just doing a simple activation, just kind of showing you the basic steps involved. So let's just call this the end of the activation. I'll now roll for fatigue. I did a combat, so on 1, 2, or 3, I get fatigue. And I roll a 2, so that means they gain fatigue. And then I need to roll a 4 or higher to get a reactivation. And I roll, of course, a 1. So no reactivation for the 2nd Panzer. If they had reactivated, I would just do it all over again. It'd be like a second activation in the day. But apparently this operation took them all day to do, so they don't get another activation today. Now, to mark a headquarters as done, you can just turn the headquarters upside down just to make it more obvious that that one is done. If you happen to have something like KTX markers, these can be really handy for this. A little bit, very easy to see across a map which formations are done. Well, that concludes this quick walkthrough of a formation activation in BCS. I hope you got some good things out of it, and have a great day and good dice.